Hey guys, today we're going to talk about your bubble lab for science. I just need you to get some supplies ready. So the first thing you're going to need is 3 different types of soap. Now, for me, I got several up here just to show you some different ones. You want to make sure they're different types. So, like for example, this is Dawn dish soap, probably in your kitchen, something like that. Or if you're in my house, we use Palmolive. Okay, they're different types of soap. That works. Like bathroom soap, or if you got the good stuff from Bath and Body Works, that'll work too. But also, like if you have body wash in your bathroom, or if you have laundry detergent, any of these things will work. So you just need to find 3 different types. So today I am going to use these 3 right here. Okay, now yours can be different and that's totally fine, but these are the 3 I'm going to use. Okay, now also in your welcome packet that you guys got, okay, you should have an envelope inside, like a white one, not the one that had your username and passwords, but a different one, and it should say science project. Now in there you're going to see 2 different things. You're going to see a straw and a ruler. Okay, now you don't have to use this ruler. If you have your own ruler, it will work so much better, like if you have a plastic one, but if you don't have one, that's why I gave you this. Okay, and you have a straw. The first thing I need you to do is to cut your straw into 3 pieces about this size, okay? Cut the straw into thirds. Okay, so if you need to pause my video and go get those supplies, please do that now. Okay, so I've already cut mine up, okay? And so the next thing you're gonna need is like 3 cups, all right? Now, I'm just using some plastic cups that I have here in my science classroom, but if you have just like cups from your kitchen, that'll work, okay? And a teaspoon. Okay, and you're gonna need to mix some solutions. All right, so what you're gonna do in your cup, okay, you can't see this right now, but in here I have put 3 teaspoons of water and 1 teaspoon of my soap. Now, I don't want you to write on your actual cups because then Mom might get mad, but if you look over here to where I have my lab stations, okay, I have a cup, okay, with my straw beside it, and on a little piece of tape I wrote what type of soap it is. That way I don't get them mixed up. Okay, I don't want to get them mixed up. So I got those in there. Trying to get my camera here working. All right, and each one of these, in this first one, I have Dawn dish soap. Okay, I've got 1 teaspoon of that and 3 teaspoons of water. 1 teaspoon of Palmolive dish soap, 3 teaspoons of water. And then the soft soap, like what I would use in my bathroom, 1 teaspoon of that, and 3 of water, and then I mix those 3 up. Okay, so they're nice and mixed up. All right. Now, the next thing I want you to make sure you have, okay, is your bubble lab sheets. Okay. Now, yours are on the computer, or they might be in a packet form. Either way, that works. All right. And so first thing we're going to look at is our testable question. What are we going to do with these types of soaps, and why is it called a bubble lab? Okay, because we're practicing the scientific method. All right, so the first part is the testable question. Which brand of soap makes the biggest bubbles? So our goal today is to make really big bubbles with the type of soaps I have. Okay, the next thing, it says hypothesis. If I use the brand blank, then the bubbles will be the biggest. So you needed to make a hypothesis. That's just an educated guess. It's just a guess. Of the 3 brands that you picked, okay, because you're not going to probably have the same soap that I do, which one do you think is going to make the biggest bubbles? And tell me that in your hypothesis, okay? All right, now, this next part's a little tricky. Your independent variable is the thing that you're going to change in our experiment. So in our experiment, we used 3 different types of soap, right? So my independent variable, what I am changing, is my types of soap, okay? So if you want to write that down, go ahead. All right, now, my dependent variable depends on the outcome of my experiment. So what am I looking for at the end? I want to know what makes the biggest bubbles, okay? I want to know what my biggest bubbles are. And my constants are things that stay the same. So I'm going to use the same type of equipment. I'm going to use the same amounts of soap, all of that good stuff, okay? All right, good deal. Now, it doesn't matter, this next part, what soap you call A, just write it down. What soap you call B, write it down, and what soap you call C. And then we already should have our straw, water, and rulers ready to go. Now this next part is a little bit tricky. So I'm gonna have you watch me for a second. Now, I would play around with this for a few times before you actually start collecting your data, because lots of students, the first go around, they're not very good at it, okay? But it's fun. So what you're gonna do is, it says that you're gonna need to make the bubble solution, which hopefully you already have. If you haven't, pause it and make it now. And then it says drop 5 drops of the bubble solution onto a flat surface like a table. You wanna make sure your surface is flat and it's clean. So for right now, I'm just using my lab in my science room. But if you have like a kitchen table or a countertop, those will work fine too. I have a glass table that sits out on my deck, and that works. All right, just needs to be flat. Okay, now 5 drops. Now this can be hard because, like, right now I'm just using a spoon. If you have some kind of dropper, like in your kitchen, you can use that, okay? If you were in my science room, I'd give you a squeegee, but I didn't have enough of those at home. Okay, so it says 5 drops. I'm gonna try to be really careful here. Okay, all right, now, what you can't see, I'm gonna make sure you can't see me for a second. You're gonna see my glob of soap. Maybe if I can get my camera. I'm probably making you guys all really sick, I'm sorry. Okay, so you can see I have a glob of soap right here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this straw, okay, and I'm gonna dip my straw into the end of the bubble kind of juice, okay? Now, I don't want to put it flat on my table because then air can't get in there and I can't make bubbles. So I'm going to hold it. I want it in the solution, but just kind of above it. All right, and then I'm going to try to gently blow a bubble. Again, this is going to take you a few times to try it to make sure it works. Okay, you see how that one bubble was kind of small? Okay, try again. Okay, that was a little bit bigger. All right, so do a couple practice tries. I would say try it like 5 or 6 times just to make sure you get the hang of it, okay? Now, back to your data, okay? It says measure the diameter of the bubble in centimeters and record your data, all right? So when you're looking at a ruler, okay, this is my ruler here for a second. Don't use the inches side, and most of them are labeled inches. I want you to use your centimeter side. Okay, now, if you used the paper one, it's gonna get wet and soggy. It should still work, but it's gonna be a little bit harder. So if you have a plastic one, I would say totally use that. Okay, now, you're gonna blow, for brand number, letter A, for me, that's my Dawn dish soap. I'm gonna blow 5 different bubbles, measure each one of them, and then find the average, okay? So let's say that this was my first bubble. Now, a diameter is if it makes a circle, okay? One side of the circle to the other side of the circle in the middle. So like you're going right across the center of that circle. So take my ruler, I'm gonna put one end on one side and measure across, and my first bubble was 6 centimeters, okay? Just gonna come over and write 6 centimeters, okay? Now, this is kind of important. See this glob? Before I do my next trial, I want to kind of get that cleaned up a little bit, let it dry. I'm going to do 5 more drops, okay? Now, you're going to do that 5 times for each solution. So, 5 for my Palmolive for me, 5 of my Dawn, and 5 of my soft soap, okay? Does that make sense? All right, let me know if you have questions. So you're going to do that 5 times each. Now, here's a trick. Make sure you pay attention to what side you stick in the soap, because otherwise you're going to stick a soapy straw in your mouth and it's going to taste really bad. All right, so pay attention to what side you put in there and work on that, okay? All right, so do that, and when you get done with all of that data, it's going to ask you to find the average, okay? Finding the average is really going to be easy. I'm going to go through this quickly. All right, you're going to add all 5 of your trials together. Okay, if you want to use your calculator, I don't care. Add all 5 of them together and then divide by 5. Okay, because we did 5 trials. So let's say that, I'm just going to throw numbers out here for sake of time. Let's say all of them were 6 centimeters. It's very, very, very unlikely they're all going to be exactly the same. I'm going to add all this together. Okay, So that would give me 30. And I'm going to take 30 and divide it by 5 to give me 6. All right, so in this case, my average would be 6 centimeters. Okay, you are going to use that data and you're going to help make a bar graph on the next page, okay, and answer some questions about it. All right, good luck. Pause the video, rewatch it if you need to. Have fun.